Welcome to LaughNapkin. Today I have put together 3 stories for episode 15 of r/EntitledParents. If you're a fan of these Reddit stories, smash that subscribe button as I put out new videos daily. And don't forget to be part of the LaughNapkin community by joining my Discord server, link in description. Now let's get to it. Entitled kid sexually assaults my daughter, finds out the hard way she's been taught to take care of herself. So this is my second story. A little background. I'm an Iraqi war vet, and I believe in teaching the women and girls in my life to defend themselves with impunity. So at a very young age of 4, I have been teaching my child to defend herself. Story time. I'm at work one day and get this call from my daughter's school. I go outside to answer the phone and the conversation goes like this. Cast. Me, Terminator. P, Principal. Principal. Hello, Terminator. I need you to come pick up baby Terminator. Me. Can I ask what this is about? Yes, your child has been in a fight and needs to leave the school premise. What do you mean she's been in a fight? What happened? I mean, she wouldn't just pick a fight. Well, from what we can tell, entitled kid was running up behind her and grabbing her butt. She apparently warned him to stop, but when he wouldn't, knocked him out cold. So I'm confused. What is happening to the boy then? Well, your daughter seems to be the aggressor, and we need her to leave, and she's gonna be suspended. Now, my child at the time lived with my ex-wife, and I had heard from the ex that my kid was having an issue with this boy for a while now, and I knew my daughter had gone through many times telling on him to no resolve. I also knew that he had been told many times by the teachers to stop, and hadn't. Me. Wait, so nothing is gonna happen to the boy who's been sexually assaulting my daughter for X amount of time? Well, Mr. Terminator, she did strike him once and knocked him out. She needs to learn violence is not the answer. She needed to bring it up to the attention of a teacher. Okay, so what I'm hearing is your school is saying it's okay to sexually assault a girl, and the girl in question needs to be a victim of assault over and over again, or be punished? Is that about the gist of it? Now, I hear silence as the principal mulls over what I just said. I can tell they're trying to justify this weak tea bullshit. I compose myself. Me. So, here's what's gonna happen next. You can either punish both, or punish none of them. Because I promise you, the last thing you want is me in my dress A's and TV reporters showing up and blasting your whole school over this. Now, I can understand that her punching this brat is unacceptable, but what I will not take, and neither will she, is him not being punished as well. Do I make myself clear? Principal is in silence. Me. Also, why are you calling me and not her mother? Well, Mr. Terminator, she told us to call you. You listen to me and listen good. I swear to you and God, I will not put up with this. I demand a meeting with you, her teacher, and this boy's family. If I can't make it, my ex-wife will. If this isn't resolved to my liking, I will bring a holy hell upon this whole stick house you built. Do you understand me? Yes, sir. Good. Call my ex and let her know the time and date. We will coordinate from there. I hang up and call my ex. She agrees with me and I go back to work. About a work week later, there's a meeting, but unfortunately I have work and my ex has to go in for me. From what I'm told, this boy's family tries to play it off as boys will be boys and tries to get my daughter expelled. There are times when I remember why I married my ex, and this is one of them. She proceeds to tell them that the last thing any of them want is me to get more involved than I already have, and that if I have to, I will bring it all burning down, every brick. Outcome was both of them were suspended for 4 days, and the boy moved to a different class. And I never got a call like that again. Moral of the story, my kid's a badass and got a cake for sticking up for herself, and a lot of love on both ends of me and my ex. Edit. Sorry for not being clear. She was 7.5 at the time of the incident. You can't go to your mom's funeral until you pass all your exams next month. Cast. FF. Friend's friend. EP entitled Principal, biggest douche in the world. My friend went to a boarding school for like 1 year after year 11. There he had made many friends. One of the friends was FF, friend's friend. His mom was severely ill, and unfortunately due to the illness she died. FF's father was also severely ill due to the loss of his wife, who was married to him for 40 years. FF's dad's emotional health deteriorated. As any normal son would do, FF asked entitled principal if he could go home and come back in a month. With all the wisdom in the world, entitled principal responds, "What is more important, your lessons or your mom's funeral?" FF was really taken aback by this. Entitled principal then has the audacity to say, "I'll make a deal with you. If you pass your exams next month, then you can go." Now I would like to point out that FF was one of the boarding's top students. He never failed any exams, and furthermore, he saved on multiple occasions by getting those grades. FF, listen, my mom died. Her funeral is tomorrow. Entitled principal, well, I don't care. FF, I'll bring you the evidence. Please, it is literally the last time I will ever get to see my mom. EP, well, I don't care. FF, you didn't let me go when she was almost dying in the hospital. At least let me go now, please. Entitled principal, no means no. Stop being so stubborn and go back to class. FF, please, I am imploring you. I will never ask for any holidays after this one. Please, I'm begging you. Entitled principal then proceeds to call security to take FF back to class. For the rest of the day, FF was extremely sad and became super antisocial. In the evening, he tries one more time, but gets the same answer. This is when FF flips. FF, I had enough of your bullshit. I'm leaving whether you like it or not. Entitled principal, if you leave, I'll make sure you don't come back here ever. FF, fine by me, this place is shit anyway. Entitled principal, what did you say, you entitled brat? FF, are you freaking deaf? I said I'm leaving and this place is shit. With that, FF just leaves and goes back home. By the way, from the boarding school to his home was a 4-hour drive. FF managed to just about get in time for the burial rituals and was not able to see his mom's face. About a month later, entitled principal calls FF's dad. Entitled principal, your son has disrespected the institution, so we have taken measures. Your son by default has failed all his exams and will have to redo the year. FF's dad yells how the school has disrespected FF by not allowing him to go to the funeral, and how FF already goes to a better place. This ticks off entitled principal, and he demands that FF's dad pays the fees for the rest of the year. FF's dad straight up refuses. In the end, the school got shut down because students began leaving the school, including F, about a week after FF left. Apparently, during the 1 month between the phone call and FF mom's death, the students started a revolution and began leaving the boarding to go to better boardings. I don't know how FF and his family are doing now, but I assume he's doing well. Sell my son your land, or I will call the police. Some backstory. My now passed on next door neighbor was a terrible busybody who felt it was her God-given right to tell everyone in our street what they could and couldn't do, from where they parked their cars to what flowers they could grow. She had to know everyone's business and would harass people until she got answers, even going as far as stalking, but that's for another story. If she didn't get her own way, she would spread the most evil gossip. Her adult children, a son and a daughter, were both greedy and deeply entitled, believing that because the majority of the street were either social housing or rented properties, they were better than everyone else, and if they didn't get what they wanted, then mother would sort it out. I have many stories about this neighbor far worse than this, but I'll start off with this one as it's the mildest thing she has done, and it fits into the entitled parents subreddit better. The son owns 2 other properties near the end of the street which he rents out. At the very end of the same street is another house with a plot of land right next to it. The owners of that house and land built a garage that they could use for work, rebuilding old cars and bikes. The business is at least 30 years old, handed down from father to son. It's very small, so they can only work on 1 vehicle at a time, but due to the owner's skills at restoration, they're always in high demand. One day about 10 years ago, the son rolls up in his latest BMW and walks up to the owner, a father and his teenage son. The rest of this conversation is paraphrased, as I was not a witness, but this was told to my family by the owners themselves. S. Son. O. Owner. Father. You know the drill. Hey guys, it's your lucky day. I want to buy your land. I'll give you $15,000. Notice he didn't ask if it was for sale or offer to negotiate a fair price. Owner. No, sorry, this business is not for sale. Thanks for the interest though. Son. I wasn't asking for your business. You can set up somewhere else. I want the land. It's just the right size to build another house on. Owner. Well, sorry, no. This is our livelihood. We can't just move. We would lose business while looking for someplace else. And besides, it used to be my father's garage, and it's next door to our home, so why would we want to sell it? Son. So you can make money? Insert a random dove face here. Owner. But we make money working here, so sorry, but it's not for sale. The son then does what you would expect a grown man of 30, yes, 30 to do. He complained to his mother. His mother takes no time at all to walk back to the garage. Entitled mom. Why won't you sell the garage to my son? He wants to build a house here. Owner. Because this is our place of business and we don't want to sell. Entitled mom. You shouldn't even be working here. It's dangerous. Owner. I can assure you, ma'am, everything is up to code, and we have every right to work here. Now please, leave us alone. Entitled mom. What are you hiding in there? Is it drugs? Owner. What? No, we're fixing up an old bike. Entitled mom. I knew it. You're working here illegally. Sell your land to my son, or I will contact the authorities. The owner laughed and told her to go ahead. She stormed off and they think it's over. Just the nutty ravings of a mad granny, right? An hour later, sure enough, the police arrive. Apparently, an anonymous caller rang them to say that the owners had been dealing drugs out of the garage. It was obvious who called them. Of course, all the neighbors had seen the police arrive. Our street is normally quiet, and we're all nosy bastards, so when you see blue flashing light, you step out and watch the show unfold. Entitled mom took great glee in telling everyone stood around and watching the chaos how the owners had been selling drugs to children, and how she wasn't the one who called them, but everyone knows what's going on, and thank goodness something is finally being done about it. Half of the neighbors were shocked at this event, but a few of the longer term residents were already giving her the side eye like it was a special offer at Tesco or Walmart. She must have been feeling pretty smug with herself. Only there was a snag, just a little one. Because the tiny garage worked on rare and old cars which can be expensive, the owners had CCTV. That was something Entitled Mom had not counted on. After the police had shown up, the owners knew who the culprit was and had no issues with showing footage, complete with sound to the officers showing Entitled Mom threatening to call the police if they didn't sell the land. With half the neighbors out and watching events unfold, the Entitled Mom's face switched from smugness to fear as the police walked away from the garage and approached her instead. The officer then asked if they could step inside her home to discuss something she probably didn't want her neighbors to hear. She received a warning regarding harassment and wasting police time. The owners of the garage were never bothered again, and the last remaining neighbors who didn't know how badly she was finally saw her for the witch she was. Sorry the ending wasn't epic, but that's just how it was. Well, that about wraps it up. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button and bell. By the way, I just started a Discord server for anyone looking to be part of the LaughNapkin community. Link in the description below. See you next time.